You just gotta love those after the arc chapters because you always get to see, and granted, some people might say, oh, it's fan service or whatever. I don't give a fuck, because if this is fan service and this is the fan service that we all want to see, seeing what all the top dogs are doing, Oda, like, it's weird because like these chapters are, and granted of course we had the big Doflamingo versus Luffy fight, etc, but like these are some of the best chapters of all of Dressrosa. Like they're actually giving a lot more of the entire world and what they're thinking in the next moves and stuff like that, and it gives more than just like the in-between arcs and like these new characters and stuff like that. So I'm all for these after the bullshit happens type of chapters because yeah. Now what Fujitora did in the last chapter shook up the world completely, and honestly it was taking somebody like him, a new blood or whatever, that had some better morals than most of these people to do things. Because I mean at the end of the day, if you look at Akainu, one of the biggest things he's worried about is, well, my face in the world is gonna be, you know, tarnished if you, like, stop, bro. You're supposed to be a sign of justice, which is why Akainu definitely shouldn't have been, you know, risen up in the ranks, so to speak. And that's why it should have been, if anything, Aokiji. And speaking of Aokiji, just so much in this chapter is like, Oda, so you decided to give us a fuckload of great shit. Now, if you look at the Gorosei, honestly, you could definitely see, I mean, we've seen time and time again that they're not necessarily like what they're supposed to be, these good people, the elders or whatever. They don't really give a fuck, and you gotta wonder as well, how much power do these motherfuckers really have? How strong they really are? I don't mean authority, I mean as far as like strength-wise, fucking people up. If they're talking to Akainu like he's trash, they're like looking at him and they're like, yo, those words aren't going to be tolerated, bro. And I mean, at the end of the day, if they're on top of the game or whatever, they're on top of the government, they must have some power to sustain that, because otherwise a motherfucker like Akainu could be like, you know what, I'm here right now, I'm taking all of you out, and could kill them. So for them to talk with such disrespect, either they're out of their fucking mind, something like the Tenryou Obito, or they know that at the end of the day, if this motherfucker gets out of line, they'll cap him just like that. And basically they were talking as if like this is all a facade as far as like the system and everything. Like this is all what they've set up just to put an eye out to the public. I mean, what they did with the newspaper and all this stuff, like you can definitely see they don't really give a fuck. And that's one of the things I love about One Piece. While the pirates are the bad guys, and granted some of them are fucked up like the Blackbeards or whatever, there are pirates that are pretty much like better than the top of the government that's supposed to be protecting the people. Like they didn't give a fuck. I was like, you getting more of who the Gorosei truly are, and they just really don't care. Like, it's all about just an image to put on a facade or whatnot, but they don't give a fuck. And I'm glad that the CPO was mentioned, because they were seen in the arc. They didn't really do much. Everybody was questioning, did Oda even forget? Of course Oda didn't forget. Let's be real here. Oda works on this manga practically 24/7. So Oda did not forget them, and it seems as though they don't give a fuck neither. Like the CPO possibly have their own agenda, because basically, from what the Gorosei said anyway, the CPO was supposed to take care of this. So if they were supposed to take care of this, but they didn't do jack shit, and we just seen them on the island passing by, you gotta wonder, well, what is their objective? It's something obviously different from what the world government is basically telling them to do. And I mean, at the end of the day, if the Gorosei give you a mission, you do it. But then again, it could be that they're just lying, and the Gorosei didn't even tell them to do anything. They told them to do something completely different. So it's kind of making me question as well, what was the true objective of the CPO? Why were they on that island, but they didn't do anything to stop anything? And just finding out Fujitora at the end of the day, because if you think about it, you gotta wonder, why wouldn't this strong-ass admiral just say, fuck it, I'm taking out Doflamingo, this is, you know, I'm not having it. It was all a strategic move, and that makes me respect the character, and that just showcases what the character has truly been trying to do this entire time. The fact that he didn't lift a finger, it wasn't because he was unconfident of taking out Doflamingo or whatever. He was trying to basically showcase the pirates did better than what the government could do. And it's like, granted, some people will say, oh, that was just a scapegoat just so that we can explain why didn't Fujitora do anything. No, motherfucker. Fujitora definitely had a plan, and honestly, just seeing the flashbacks to Alabasta when he was like not of the rank that he is right now, and Smoker and Tashigi, again, call it fan service or whatever, seeing all these awesome characters, but I mean, even the connection, and it kind of makes you feel bad in a way, I guess, about Smoker, that he would have liked to do something like that. And of course, we've seen Smoker time and time again that while he believes in justice, he's not necessarily like the Akainus that don't give a fuck. He truly believes in similar ways of Fujitora, but I guess in a way it's kind of fucked up to say, but Smoker doesn't have the strength, and he doesn't have the rank obviously, but he doesn't necessarily have the strength needed to do these things, and it took somebody like Fujitora that actually has the capabilities of, being on the top to do something like that. But just comparisons, and a lot of people compare the Alabasta arc to this Dressrosa arc, the structure, and kind of how Crocodile was basically the Doflamingo of that time or whatnot, and just Crocodile's ambitions couldn't get that far because Luffy came in and, slaughtered the motherfucker or whatnot. But just playing back, Oda just does it so brilliantly. Even if the arc seems similar or whatever, yeah, the structure of what Doflamingo was trying to do was similar, but we had a different outcome, and the world is aware. Now, we had hints of Aokiji joining up with Blackbeard earlier in Dressrosa when they were talking about, can you really trust him? I mean, he was with the government at the end of the day. I don't for a second buy that Aokiji is like a pirate. I don't buy that he's basically rocking with Blackbeard on some good shit like, yo, let's kill and rape bitches, motherfucker. Like, no, like Aokiji just isn't that type of person. What I truly believe his objective is, he's like, fuck the Marines. I realize that they're not worthy of basically doing this job. They're not going to do the job that needs to be done. And ever since he lost Akainu, he probably came up with, okay, since I couldn't take that rank and use that authority to change things, I'm going to go on my own. And I think he's probably trying to infiltrate the Blackbeard pirates, find out everything about them, and then do some shit. And I wouldn't be surprised, not maybe in this arc or maybe the next arc, but I guarantee you at some given point, we might see Aokiji do some questionable things that is going to really make us think like, oh shit, he's really like down with the Blackbeard pirates, like he's really fucked up. But I think it's all going to be a facade just so he can try and take them down and do his own, sort of justice. I mean, we've seen time and time again that Aokiji, while yes, he was trying to abide by the laws, he still believed in something different than what, the government was doing or whatever. And I can honestly see at some given point, he's just going to flip the script on them, and it's going to be priceless. Because Aokiji, he let Robin get away, and granted, they would have probably took his head if they found it out, but Aokiji's not a bad guy. We might see him do some fucked up things, but it'll all come back, I guarantee you, on some shit that he took them down. And then even in this chapter, I mean, come on, if you didn't fucking love this chapter, I don't know what manga you've been reading. The Supernovas, all of them, Kid, Capone, all of them, and then finding out, like, I gotta ask this question. Do you think that Kid's alliance with Scratchman and Pooh, 3 of these motherfuckers, would be able to take out Shanks? I think they're going to have to devise some plan. And the thing about it is as well, like, granted, Shanks is his own man, and Luffy understands that Shanks is his own man, but if Shanks was truly in peril, I wonder if Luffy would actually come to his rescue. I mean, I don't gotta wonder that. He came to Ace's rescue, but it would just feel weird for Luffy to have to come rescue Shanks. And the big question I have here is, do you think that these 3 could take out Shanks? I think they would have to devise a strategy to do it. I think they would have to provoke him, bring him into dangerous waters, and then fuck him up. Because other than that, I mean, it's motherfucking Shanks. He basically stopped Marine Ford when motherfucking Whitebeard was ready to shake the world. He stopped all that shit. So, personally, I think that they're playing a fool's game right now. You ain't gonna fuck up Shanks. It's not gonna happen. And granted, forgive me if I'm mistaken, but wasn't it Capone that got fucked up? I think it was by Kaido or one of Kaido's men. I remember that his ship, I don't know if it was Capone, it's been a while, but somebody got fucked up. So if it was Capone, then how did he escape from that, getting like fucked up? I thought Capone got killed again. I think it was Capone. It might have been somebody else from the Supernovas, but I'm curious about that. Seeing X Drake, and again, Dressrosa, some of the small things that it did, where it kind of hinted that Drake was that kid or whatever. Finding out more about Drake, like he didn't give a fuck about his father's death, it kind of makes you wonder more about, like, okay, so is he completely heartless? Was there something about his father that he didn't care about? Has he completely changed? Like, a lot more to wonder about Drake as well. It's like, just a little bit, the small things that we got in Dressrosa adds up to that fucking little panel that we got and that little line. And I ain't gonna lie, Oda almost gave me a heart attack. I thought for a split second we were about to see Kaido, and granted, Kaido's gonna go on a warpath as well, because now he lost his Smile Factory, he lost Doflamingo that was doing shit for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if you think about it, Luffy and Law are on Kaido's shit list right now. Maybe Kaido might go after them, and we still have the whole Big Mom shit, which Oda, stop playing games, what's going on, what's happening with Sanji and all them and Big Mom. And then last but not least, the conversation between Fujitora and Akainu, where basically, like, Akainu said, bring me their 2 heads, I don't give a fuck, and you're not allowed in any sort of marine base until then. Like, it's gonna be something interesting, because I could totally see that at the end of the day, Fujitora's authority, since he's not gonna have it anymore, basically, is going to be like, fuck, if only he had this power, he could do this. I guarantee that's going to be a setup for something in a later arc, and that's why, like, he's basically been stripped of his power. I don't know if he's been stripped of his position, but it seems as though he's barred from marine bases, so he might be an admiral that's, like, just, like, fuck you, you're not coming to any of our bases or whatever, which is interesting because I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Smoker, granted, yeah, he does like to follow the rules to a certain extent, but I don't think Smoker and Tashigi are going to listen to that. Like, he's going to be welcome in their place regardless. So, yeah, I don't know how far that's going to work with people that actually sympathize and understand and wanted to do the thing that Fujitora did. So, Akainu, I don't know if your law is going to go exactly the way you want. But all that being said, absolutely great chapter of One Piece. It's the Aftermath chapter that is just fucking awesome as shit, giving so much. I mean, if I'm correct, I think that was Jewelry Boney as well, which I'm still curious how the fuck she got away from Akainu when Blackbeard had her there and shit like that. So many questions, but so much great setup for hopefully the next upcoming arc, whether it's going to be more about Big Mom, but like, I mean, Kaido is going to want those motherfuckers for what they did, getting rid of that Smile Factory, and so much good shit. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, do you think Kaido's going to go after them? Do you think that Drake and his alliance can take out red-haired Shanks? I think not. And what do you think about what basically Akainu did to Fujitora? Do you think that Fujitora is still gonna basically, like, I don't think that he took his rank away. I don't think that he's thrown out the government. I think he's just barred from, like, having contact and whatnot. And the Godo say, like, do you think that they're way stronger than Akainu or any of the admirals, and the only reason they're doing this is to protect the history of the fucked up shit that's happened, to stop the world from going into chaos? Because just imagine if the image that the Godo say have created for the world government, that, you know, they're the protectors, gets tarnished. Like, maybe they were raping and torturing bitches in the past in the Void Century. Maybe if that came to light, you know, things will crumble, and they don't want pirates to be on top. So do you think, what's up with that? And your overall thoughts of this chapter? Oda, good shit. 9 out of 10 for this bad boy. Granted, there was some stuff in the chapter seemed like about, you know, characters and certain things. I mean, I'm not trying to be biased or whatever. Like, at the end of the day, we do got to see, hey, what's going to happen with the Tontadas or whatever, but it was still nonetheless a great ass fucking chapter. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm Finette World, and as always, people, have an awesome day.